Emotional stress and overwhelm don't only affect the mind, they often accumulate physically through muscular tension, headaches, fatigue, shallow breathing, and a feeling of emotional and energetic stagnation in the body. And over time, this buildup can leave us feeling stuck, disconnected, mentally exhausted, or just unable to move through whatever it is that we're carrying. In today's acupressure practice, we'll work with acupoints that help promote relaxation, circulation, emotional release, and a greater sense of clarity and overall flow through your body. And this practice will be especially helpful if you've been feeling emotionally tense, just physically tight, overwhelmed, or just disconnected from your energy. My name is Jyllin. I'll be guiding you through this practice. If you enjoy practices like EFT, meridian yoga, or acupressure, or holistic healing that support your emotional and nervous system health, feel free to subscribe if you haven't yet. Your support also helps me continue to create practices with more intention and fewer interruptions on the channel. All right, let's get into the practice. Now take a moment here just to begin to settle into a comfortable seated position and allow your shoulders to begin to soften. Your jaw can relax and your breath can slow down naturally. And sometimes emotional tension and overwhelm don't only live in your mind. They accumulate physically through tightness, fatigue, shallow breathing, and a feeling of internal pressure or stagnation in the body. So today we're going to work with a few gentle acupressure points that can help support relaxation, emotional release, circulation, and a greater sense of clarity and flow. As always, take what feels supportive for your body and soften or pause at any time. Now we're going to begin to work with the pericardium 6 point on the inner wrist. You can locate this point about 3 finger widths below the wrist crease, centered between the tendons on your inner forearm. And all of the points in this practice I will show on the screen so you can see more closely. And now massaging into this point using gentle pressure, begin slowly circling into this point or just holding the point on one side. And allow your breath to naturally soften here. This point is often used to support emotional regulation. It helps calm the nervous system. It can ease tension in the chest and feelings of overwhelm or internal constriction. And as you breathe, notice if there's anywhere in your body that's been gripping, bracing, or holding more than it needs to right now. And without forcing anything to change, simply acknowledge what's here. And when you're ready, switch sides, noticing the simple rhythm of your breath and the pressure that you're applying into this point, giving your nervous system a moment to settle. You might quietly repeat to yourself, I don't need to carry everything at once. I'm allowed to soften. I can move forward gently. Next, we'll move on to gallbladder 21 at the tops of the shoulders. Now, this is contraindicated if you're pregnant, so if you are, you can just lightly massage the tops of your shoulders instead. And using your fingers or your hands, you can squeeze the entire upper trapezius, even getting your fingers and your thumb beneath the muscle completely. Or you can feel around this area and then press or tap into where you feel a knot, tension, or a point that tells you to stay there and give it your attention. You can circle your fingers into that point, or you can simply send pressure straight down into it. And you can also slowly roll your shoulders or exhale with sound if that feels supportive. And just notice where you may have been carrying pressure lately, and letting this massage, any gentle movement, and your breath help to begin to relieve some of that pressure. Now let's change sides, massaging into the other shoulder. Now this point is commonly associated with stress, with tension, and the feeling of carrying emotional or mental weight through the upper body. So again, you can notice where you've been carrying tension or pressure. And that can be pressure to keep going, the pressure to hold everything together, or pressure to move faster than your body is ready for. And with each exhale, imagine releasing just a little bit of that weight, not forcing yourself to let go completely, just creating a little more space. Now we'll move on to stomach 36. This point is located 4 finger widths below your kneecap, slightly toward the outer edge of the shin. Now begin by gently massaging or tapping into this point. This point is often used to support energy, resilience, your digestion. It's great for grounding, and also for recovering after stress or depletion. And as you work with this point, notice if you can invite in a slightly steadier relationship with your energy, not needing to force motivation or rush yourself into momentum, but allowing energy to rebuild gradually, safely, and sustainably. And now take your time as you move on to the other side. Just continuing to breathe slowly, noticing the details in how you apply pressure into this point. And as you do, how you can settle into it, your nervous system can settle even more, allowing circulation and movement to return naturally. And you might want to repeat, I can support myself with patience. My energy doesn't need to return all at once. I'm allowed to rebuild gently. Now to finish, let's begin to gently massage the ears. And let's begin with the earlobes. So you can circle your earlobes between your thumbs and your fingers. You can gently pull the earlobes down and out to feel the tissues around your ears open. And you can begin to work your fingers and thumbs up your ears, using light circular movements, tracing around the ears, or simply holding the area gently if that feels better for you. And the ears are related to the kidneys in TCM. So massaging your ears can replenish your kidneys and your deep energy reserves. It can ground your energy overall and tap you into courage and vitality. And now let's keep moving up the ears into the Shen Men point near the upper inner portion of the ear. And massaging here can help to relieve insomnia, psychological stress, agitation, even cravings. It can help with addiction. And taking your time here, allowing this final section to feel soothing and grounding, and still noticing your breath, how it can be settled and slow. Noticing your face, your jaw, your shoulders, your chest. And you can let your arms rest down and simply observe if anything feels slightly softer, clearer, or more spacious than when you began. And now as you're seated comfortably, take one final slow breath in and exhale gently. I'd love to hear from you in the comments which point felt the most supportive for you today, or where you tend to hold stress and emotional tension most in your body. If you want additional support for your nervous system regulation and emotional grounding, you can download my free Reset Your Nervous System guide that I have linked in the description. And if this practice supported you, feel free to subscribe if you haven't yet for more acupressure, EFT, meridian yoga, meditation, and holistic healing practices here on my channel. Thanks so much for taking this time to be present with yourself today and for practicing with me. I'll see you in the next video.